All right, let's talk about the Greece Golden Visa. If you've ever thought about getting a foothold in Europe, this program has probably been on your radar. But, and this is a big but, the rules have just been completely shaken up, and that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
So are you one of those people looking for a plan B? You know, a solid base in Europe for you and your family? It's really the #1 reason thousands of investors are drawn to programs just like this one. They're all seeking that same thing: stability, freedom, and access.
And just to give you an idea of the scale here, this program is massive. Since it launched, Greece has handed out over 31,000 of these permits. That's attracted more than 2.6 billion euros in investment. So yeah, this isn't some niche little opportunity. It is a major gateway to Europe. Okay, so here's our roadmap. First, we'll cover what the Golden Visa actually is. Then, we'll dig into the critical new investment rules. After that, we'll explore the key benefits, walk through the actual path to residency, and finally, we'll tackle the big one, the 250,000 euro question.
So let's start with the basics. What exactly is the Greece Golden Visa? At its core, it's what's known as a residency-by-investment program. It's a pretty simple trade. Non-EU nationals make a qualifying investment in Greece, and in return, they and their families get a 5-year residence permit. And that permit is renewable for as long as they hold on to the investment. It's that direct investment for residency.
Now for the most important part of this whole explainer. In late 2024, Greece totally changed the investment rules, and this is where a lot of the current confusion is coming from. So the government got rid of the old one-size-fits-all approach and brought in a tiered system. They had two main goals here. First, to cool down the red-hot property prices in tourist areas, and second, to funnel investment into specific types of development. So now, the bottom line is, what you need to invest depends entirely on where you invest. This table breaks it down perfectly. We basically have 3 zones now. Zone A is all the high-demand spots. Think Athens, Mykonos, Santorini. The entry price there has shot up to 800,000 euros. Zone B covers most of the other regions, and that's set at 400,000. But look at Zone C. This is the crucial one. The 250,000 euro option, it still exists, but it's now tied to very specific kinds of projects.
So the key takeaway from all these new rules is this. The lowest entry point didn't disappear. It just got way more specific. You can still get in for €250,000 euros, but it has to be through one of these approved projects, like converting an old industrial building into new apartments.
Okay, so that's the cost, but what's the reward? Why are so many people still picking Greece for their plan B? Let's get into the benefits.
The benefits are really compelling. The big one, of course, is visa-free travel through the entire 29-country Schengen area. What's also huge is that there's no minimum stay requirement. You don't actually have to live in Greece to keep your residency. The program is also really generous for families, and looking down the road, it offers a path to apply for full EU citizenship after 7 years.
And just to put it all in perspective, let's do a quick comparison to the well-known American EB-5 visa. The minimum investment for Greece is significantly lower. The timeline is months instead of years, and, this is a big one, Greece gives you the flexibility of having no stay requirement, which is a major difference from the US program.
So, we know the cost and we know the benefits. But how does the process actually play out? Let's simplify that journey for you.
The journey itself is pretty straightforward. It kicks off with you getting your funds ready and making the investment. Then you'll have a legal team gather and submit all the paperwork. The only time you physically need to be in Greece is for one short trip to provide your biometrics. After that, your 5-year residency card is issued. It's really designed to be a pretty hands-off process for the investor.
From the moment you file your application, you can generally expect your permit in about 4 to 7 months. You'll renew it to the 5-year mark, and then after 7 total years of residency, you become eligible to apply for a Greek passport, which of course is an EU passport.
And this brings us right back to the most critical question for 2025. With all these changes, is that lowest investment tier still a realistic, attractive option?
The short answer is yes, absolutely. But you have to know where to look. The 250,000 euro path is now laser-focused on these special nationwide projects. And the most common example you'll find is the redevelopment of commercial properties into residential apartments.
Now, what's really interesting here is that this makes the investment tangible. For your $250,000, you aren't just getting residency, you're getting a physical asset, an actual apartment with a full title deed in your name. And these projects can even be in prime areas, including Athens.
As a pure investment, they can offer things like guaranteed rental income and the potential for some pretty solid capital growth.
So here's the bottom line, the most important takeaway from all this. Yes, buying a standard apartment in central Athens for your golden visa now costs a lot more. But a clear, accessible, and potentially profitable entry point to European residency absolutely still exists at that €250,000 level.
Which leaves us with the final question. When you combine the speed, the family benefits, and a still accessible investment option that can provide real returns, is the Greece Golden Visa the smartest path to European residency in 2025? Well, that, of course, is for you to decide.